welcome everyone. Find your spot. We'll start as usual in a comfortable seated position, so just take your time to get there.
Danielle.
Yes.
It looks like we're on chat. I can't pin you yet.
Oh, I'm not sure why that would be. You should be able to switch your view to speaker view. Do you see that at the top right?
I can see everyone.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay. Okay, fine. We did it.
Did that work?
Yep. It did.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Well, just land in your space, in your comfortable seat. Notice your breath, not trying to do anything yet or control it in any way. Just noticing how it feels today in this moment. And notice how you feel today in this moment. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes as we begin together, or simply bring your eyes down with a loose gaze, focusing on nothing in particular. And once again, we land here today together, connected, anchored in this practice that brings us together every week through this journey that we are on. And today, as we begin practice, I invite everyone to bring focus to your heart, acknowledging this Mother's Day weekend and holding gratitude for the mothers and godmothers here, for those mothers and mothering people in our lives, but also holding space for the ways in which holidays like this can be challenging and can bring mixed feelings. And knowing that that is okay too. That challenge, even sadness and gratitude can go hand in hand. And holding all of that in our heart space today. And maybe holding that balance throughout our practice today. Of the complexity of feelings that we have through all that we're going through currently. And through where we are in this moment today and this weekend. And as we breathe together, I invite you to focus on really filling up your heart and inviting breath into your heart and then flowing through your entire body. And together we inhale, inviting that breath in, filling, holding for a moment, and then letting go, exhaling. And again, we breathe together, inviting air in, filling belly, filling chest, filling our heart, holding for a moment, and then letting go, exhale. Once again, inhaling together, connection through our shared breath, filling up, holding, and then release. And one more time together in this way, inhaling, filling with our breath. Pausing. And then letting go, exhale. And then, as we usually do, starting to invite some movement with our breath. You can continue to have your eyes closed or begin to softly open them. As we together inhale, bringing our arms up over our head, reaching nice and tall and high. And then on the exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Again, together, inhaling, reaching up, lifting high, exhale, hands to heart center. And 2 more times like this, inhaling together, up, reaching, and exhale, hands to heart center. Once more, inhaling up, exhale, heart center. Inhaling up again, reaching tall, and this time twisting to our right. And again, we come into our twist. So that left hand to right knee, right hand comes behind you. And just slowly and intentionally coming into this twist. So on your inhale, you focus on reaching taller, head towards the sky, really having a nice long spine. And on your exhale, you focus on the twist. So turning perhaps a little more into your twist. And turning, if it feels comfortable, your eyes, your gaze over that back shoulder. If not, just continue looking where it feels comfortable. And again, following your breath, inhaling, lengthening spine, and exhaling, twist. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, breathing those arms up, nice and high, and then twisting to the left. Same thing, right hand comes to left knee, left hand comes behind you. Inhaling to lengthen, nice long spine. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And then when ready on the inhale, bringing your arms up, reaching up. And then hands to heart center. And then bringing your hands to your knees or to your side. Just doing some circles with your shoulders. Backwards, then forwards. Rolling them out. Maybe rolling your head a bit. One side slowly to the next. Maybe some circles with your wrists, one way, then the other. And then inhaling our arms back up, either hands together or grabbing that left wrist with your right arm. And we're just gonna curve a little bit to the side. So you're making like a C with your body. Again, nice and straight still, but curving. Almost like a half moon. Continuing to breathe, so not holding your breath while you're in this position. And then on an inhale, coming back up to center. Switching your grip and then coming to the other side. Nice C curve here. The inhale and exhale, and then coming back up on an inhale and releasing hands. And then as you're ready, taking your time, we're going to come to our tabletop position. So swinging your legs around and coming to hands below shoulders and knees below hips. And finding a nice stable position. And if you're in the chair, seated in your chair, both feet rooted on the ground and both knees out in front of you. If you're in the chair, you can have your hands resting on your knees. And landing here, again, connecting to our breath, coming into our cat-cow pose. So on an inhale, we drop our belly and really open our heart, raise our chest coming forward, belly dropped, hips up. And then on the exhale, opposite direction, arching the back, dropping hips, dropping shoulders. And continue to flow in this way with your breath. Inhale, really opening your chest, opening your heart, really feeling that stretch. And then on an exhale, arching your back. Really giving your spine a nice stretch. Giving it the movement it probably doesn't often get throughout the day. And as usual, if you feel like you want to move in a little bit of a different way, you can go side to side, making more C curves with your body, one way or the other. Or maybe you do some circles with your hips or figure eight with your hips. Do whatever feels good. There's somewhere in your body that feels like you need a little movement. Well, invite some movement there. See what that feels like. And there's no right or wrong here as long as you're breathing. That is the one requirement I have. No matter what we're doing, we're breathing. Otherwise, feel free to experiment. And we're like researchers. Test something and see what happens. And then we have data. We don't judge that. We just notice. And then landing back when you're ready in your tabletop position, hands below shoulders, knees below hips. And we'll do a little bit of strengthening with inviting our right arm coming forward out in front of us and our left leg back behind us. And that back leg can land on the toe or it can lift up. Whatever feels good for you today. And again, it may change from day to day in your practice, sometimes even from moment to moment. But finding this strength. And then landing back to your tabletop. And then inviting our other side. So reaching with the left arm coming forward, nice and strong. Right leg back. Either on the toe or lifting. Inviting in that balance. Landing back down. Again on the other side. So right arm comes up. Inviting our left leg back to toes or lifting. Back to center. Landing in our table. Again, always connecting back to our breath. Inhale and exhale, inviting our other side, left arm, right leg. And back. Nice, strong, stable table. And this time we'll do it again one more time and invite our little crunch in if that feels like something we want to do today. So again, right arm, left leg, back. And then if you want, inviting elbow to knee, so both coming in to meet in the middle. Coming back to straight, lengthening, and then landing. And our other side. Left arm, right leg. If you want to try it, meeting in the middle, elbow to knee. Again, lengthening and landing. And then pushing back to your child's pose. So big toes together and your knees can be as close or as far apart as you like. As feels comfortable. And if it feels comfortable, coming down, forehead to ground. Arms can be forward or back. Just find a comfortable resting position. Coming into that child's pose. And if your head isn't quite meeting the ground, you can invite in a pillow or a block under your forehead. Or you can really stack up those pillows and make a nice resting spot. We're returning to your breath. The inhale, and the exhale. And perhaps noticing if thoughts float in, just noticing them, acknowledging them, and letting them go, letting them float away. No judgment, just noticing, and then letting them float by. And know that that's normal too, because we can never actually shut off our thoughts or shut off our brains. Just as we can't pause our blood from circulating, can never really shut off our brain. So thoughts are going to come. Mindfulness is simply acknowledging those thoughts without judgment and with acceptance. So being that researcher of our thoughts, noting them, not judging them, and letting them float away. And then as you're ready, no rush, rising back up. Coming first to your tabletop, and then however is comfortable, standing and coming to a nice strong standing position at the front of your mat. You can also stay seated in your chair here, or you can bring a chair next to you or in front of you for balance as we do our standing series. So everyone landing here, nice and strong standing position. Just noticing how it feels to be upright and standing for the first point in our practice today. Finding that strong foundation, so setting up your feet nice and strong, rooted to the ground, really feeling the strength in your legs, pulling your legs up. Think about pulling your legs up into your hips, really having very engaged legs, then lengthening through your spine, nice and tall, head forward, maybe rolling your shoulders back, and landing here. A strong, rooted, standing position. And then together we'll flow a little bit. So following our breath, as we always do, inviting our arms up. So reaching nice and tall on our inhale. Take a nice deep breath. And then on the exhale, folding forward. So we come forward, folding in front of our legs, letting ourselves hang, head hang. Then on our next inhale, coming to a flat back. So halfway up, your hands can land on your shins. They can land on your thighs. They can land on a chair in front of you. But nice flat back, your eyes looking down at the ground in front of you, just ahead of you. So nice flat back. And then on our next exhale, we fold forward again, dropping our head. And then together, inhaling up, nice and tall, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then we continue in this way. So inhaling, arms up, overhead, nice and tall. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms up, nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll do this together 2 more times. Inhaling, arms up, nice and tall, reaching high. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, lifting halfway. Then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming up, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, together with our breath, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then landing here and breathing. And just noticing your breath. Noticing how your breath feels in this very moment. And grounding yourself in that breath. And then next, we're going to do a chair pose. In honor of my mother, who this was her favorite pose. And I don't know anyone else whose favorite pose it is, but it was definitely hers. So together, we will sit back as if we're sitting in a chair. So bending your knees and sitting back, and then inviting your arms up overhead. So really, again, rooting through your feet, but more towards the back of your feet. So maybe even for a moment trying to lift up your toes so your weight isn't in the toes. And then on an inhale, standing back to straight. And then we'll do that one more time and then come into our warriors. So inhale, arms up, dropping back, coming into that seated position, nice and strong. And then coming back to our standing position. And as you do that, stepping back with your right foot. So left foot in front, right foot back. Your back foot is at a little bit of an angle. Find the angle that feels good for you. Make sure your feet are not in a single line, but a little spaced so you have stability. And then to begin, we're going to come to our warrior one. So we bring both hips facing forward and bend that front leg. So again, it's a nice bend in the front leg. Back leg is straight. And then when we land here, we invite our arms up. Nice and strong, warrior one. And if needed, you can have a chair nearby for balance, or you can keep your hands on your hips, or you can invite them up. Nice and strong. Warrior one. And then from here, we open up. So we turn our hips to the side and our back arm goes back, our front arm comes forward. So again, still nice bend in the front leg, back leg straight, both of our arms coming out from our shoulders, nice and straight, taking a look back to see where that back arm is. Is it actually where you think it is, or is it way up or way down? Trying to get it nice and straight coming out of your shoulder. And then once you've set that, bringing your eyes over your front middle finger. So you have a nice, proud, strong warrior gaze over that middle finger. And as we go through the warrior series, always remember, if it feels a little too much, you can always straighten for a moment and then come back in. Nice and strong. And then together we invite little movements. So straightening both legs, bringing arms up overhead. Nice inhale. And then exhale, warrior two. We do that again. Inhale, straightening, lengthening. And then exhale, warrior two. Again, this warrior series can be really challenging. So if you need to come out, if you get wobbly, if you need to have, shifting a little bit, hands on hips, that is all okay. But it's also really great to challenge ourselves a little bit and to do hard things. Because to get to new places, we do need to challenge ourselves and to try new things. And then together from this warrior two, we flip our front palm, drop the back hand, and reverse our warrior. Looking up if it feels comfortable, or you can look down. Just find the spot that feels comfortable. Always returning to the breath. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back, warrior two. And from this warrior, bringing your forearm to your thigh, you're going to come to our side angle. So nice long line through your body, and then inviting that top arm up, coming straight out of your body over your ear. And then on an inhale, lifting yourself back, warrior two. Nice deep inhale, exhale, and then coming back to invite both of your feet to the top of your mat. Standing nice and tall. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and then breathing out. And again, we come into a chair pose. We'll do one this time, and then go straight into our warrior one. So on an inhale, sitting back, arms coming up. And after doing our first warriors, you may really feel this in your legs. That's good, as long as you're not feeling pain. It's okay to feel a little challenge. And then on an inhale, lengthening, and as you lengthen, stepping back with your other leg. So this time stepping back to the left, and getting ready, getting prepared for your warrior one on this side. So making sure your feet are a little bit apart, not in a single line. Back foot is at an angle, front foot facing forward, and then bending in. bending into that front leg, nice and strong. Both of your hips facing forward to begin. So maybe hands on hips to guide them forward. And then inhaling your arms up. Warrior one. Great job, everyone. Nice and strong. And then from here, we open up into our warrior two. So inviting that back arm back, front arm forward, nice and strong. Coming out of our shoulders, take a peek back. Make sure that back arm is in its spot. And then bringing your eyes over the front middle finger. Warrior two. Nice and strong. And then together, we invite a little movement. So straightening the legs on the inhale, inviting arms up overhead. Nice deep inhale. Exhaling, back warrior two. Inhaling up, nice deep inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Noticing your strength, how strong you are. Notice how rooted you are. And then inviting that front hand to flip, dropping the back arm, reverse our warrior. And always breathing, the inhale, the exhale. It is that breath that can help us through challenging things. Inhaling back, warrior two. And sometimes the tendency is when things get a little hard to hold our breath. And that's the opposite of what we need in that moment. We need that breath to root us, to energize us, to give us that strength. And then dropping that forearm, bring that forearm to your front leg, inviting your top arm up over your ear, nice long line, straight back leg, straight arm. Rooted in your breath. And then coming back up on an inhale, warrior two. Inhale and exhale. And then on the next inhale, stepping both of your legs, maybe you want to bring your hands to your hips first, and stepping both legs, both feet in to standing tall at the top of your mat. And then just landing here. Maybe inviting your eyes to close for a moment, if that feels comfortable. Or just not looking at anything in particular. And just noticing how you feel. Maybe that was challenging. It's a challenging series. Maybe you feel tired in your legs. Maybe you feel really strong. Maybe you feel both. Just noticing. And rooting yourself in your breath. Inviting in that gratitude for doing hard things because you know you deserve it. For being here today. And giving yourself time for this practice because you deserve it. And for showing up here with no particular expectation at all. Knowing that if you show up here and you breathe, you're doing the practice, you're taking care of yourself, and you're connecting with each other because we are all here breathing together. And that is a powerful, powerful thing. So if nothing else, that is the most important and powerful thing. So having gratitude for yourself for coming here today to do that. And then as you're ready, opening your eyes if they are closed. We're going to come to a little bit of balance before we move back down to our mats. So really finding our strength, our rooting through our strong legs, rooting in our feet, feeling all parts of our feet on the ground, maybe wiggling them around a little bit so we can notice their connection. And standing tall, again, really strong rooted legs and pulling your legs up into your hips, being strong through your middle section, really pulling the belly button into your spine, lengthening your spine up nice and tall, strongly rooted. And then we invite some lightness to our right foot. Rooting strongly through the left, we will come to tree pose with our right foot. So see where that wants to be today. And maybe we come to our kickstand. Maybe you invite the foot up to the lower, or grab your foot and bring it to the upper leg, wherever it wants to be today. Maybe starting with your hands on your hips to get there, find that landing spot. Focusing on that left leg, the strength, the length. And maybe when you land there, inviting hands to heart center. Noticing here. Maybe noticing what it feels like if you have your foot up to kind of push that right foot into the left leg. Does that make you more wobbly? Does it help with balance? Again, just noticing. Pressure of the leg against the pressure of the foot. And then maybe inviting your tree to grow nice and tall. Maybe wiggling the fingers a little bit, bringing the energy of the tree blooming. You know, it's so wonderful to see everything start blooming around us. My lilacs have started to bloom this week. My absolute favorite time of the year here. And then as you're ready, hands back through heart center. And then releasing. The inhale, the exhale, noticing how you're feeling. Maybe you feel a little unbalanced because we've only done one side. Just noticing. And then inviting the practice on our other side. So rooting through that right leg, bringing lightness to the left, finding our balance spot for today. Be inviting hands to heart center once we land. Perhaps growing our tree. Maybe the tree is blowing in the wind a little bit. Or maybe the tree starts to fall over and has to come back up. Absolutely okay. Because there's no such thing as true balance. It's always an active practice of slight corrections, sometimes big corrections. And trees are never perfectly still. And then hands through heart center. And then landing. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then coming in whatever way is most comfortable to a seat on our mat with our legs out in front of us. So nice straight legs, nice straight body. We're going to do our forward fold. So if you want to use props, you can. You can bring a yoga strap or a belt or a scarf around your feet to help guide you forward. You can also kind of do this just stacking up some bolsters if you want to come forward with that. Whatever feels good for today. You can also just come straight forward with hands on thighs, calves, or grabbing your feet, wherever you want to be today. But start by standing tall. And again, we're leading with our chest. So we want to come forward with a nice straight back, a nice angle. So you may not come very far forward at all, but that's absolutely the pose and the correct way to do it. So it's not about getting down as far as you can and hunching over. It's about leading with your chest. And sometimes closing your eyes can help turn off some of the stimuli and allow you to really come into this pose and relax into it. So if that feels comfortable, you can try that, experiment with that, or just try to focus really on nothing at all and just come forward. Again, leading with your heart, leading with your chest, and just resting here. It's an active pose, but we're also resting. We're not trying too hard. We're just allowing. Allowing with our breath an openness to come. And maybe with each exhale, you notice even the tiniest capacity to come a little bit further into the pose. Again, not judging, just being present in our breath. And then as you're ready, no rush. On an inhale, starting to roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time, bringing your head up last and coming back to the nice straight seated position. Standing nice and tall. And then today, we're gonna just add a little bit more and just see perhaps how this might feel differently, if it feels comfortable. Bending that right leg and putting your foot either on your thigh or just below your knee. So we're gonna try the same stretch with one leg. So bending that right leg, bringing your foot, your sole of your foot to your thigh or below your knee, and then facing forward the same way we were doing before, and you can use your prop if you choose, and just coming forward with one leg straight. And notice how maybe that feels different. Maybe you feel more capacity to release into the stretch, maybe less. Just notice. Making sure you're breathing. Always checking in with the inhale and the exhale. And then on an inhale, rolling back up, nice and tall. And we switch sides. So straightening that right leg, bending the left, using your prop if you like. And then coming forward, inviting that forward fold, leading with your chest. And again, it might not be very far, but if you're leading with your heart and you're breathing, you're absolutely doing the pose correctly. And just letting it unfold. And then as you're ready, releasing that, rolling up to a nice tall position, both feet out in front of you, and then maybe giving your legs a little bit of a wiggle, wiggling that out. And then when you're ready, swinging your legs around behind you and grabbing your props. So your bolster, which can be pillow stacks or blocks, whatever you have available. And we're gonna do, first begin with both of the legs to one side. So you wanna start with both knees pointing to your right. So you have both legs bent to one side of your pillows. And then you invite your bolster, your pillow stack, your rolled up blankets, whatever you have, to come into your hips. So you want to bring those in nice and tight to your hips. And then from this side seated position, you're going to twist back towards the pillows and come forward to lie on the pillows. So you need to maybe adjust however you need to, but you're going to come flat with your head onto the pillows and one cheek to the pillow. So we're doing a twist with the bolster. And you may need to wiggle and move things around a little bit. It should feel fairly comfortable. So you may need to move your legs in and knees in and out a little bit. Find out what's comfortable. But again, the knees are to the side. You bring the bolster to your hips and then you come forward. Hands on both sides of the bolster. And then just land here and breathe. And then slowly taking your time, pushing up with your hands, bringing yourself up to an upright position. And then slowly coming to do this on our other side. So swinging your knees to the other side, facing the other direction, inviting your bolster into your hips on this side. Lining that bolster up with the hips. turning your body to face straight over the bolster and then coming forward. Hands on the side. And your head can be in the same direction as your knees. Or if you flip your cheek to the other side, that invites in a higher level of twist. So maybe try both out, see which feels good for today. Either that right cheek on the bolster or the left. Being careful with your neck, having your gaze in the opposite direction of your knees is going to be more of a twist. And just landing here, being with your breath. Maybe trying to breathe really loudly. We practiced a couple weeks ago that Ujjayi breath, that deep throat breath, inhaling through the nose and then exhaling out through the nose as if you could fog up a mirror. So it kind of sounds like the ocean, or a deep kind of Darth Vader type of breath. See if you can breathe really loudly. Everyone's muted, so no one will hear you. See if you can make that breath really loud, that if you were unmuted, we would see that breath. The other night I was on a Zoom meeting, a Zoom call with my research team, and it was at a point I wasn't talking, but I could see the green on my microphone on Zoom going up and down. And I said, well, why is that doing that? Then I realized that it was my dog breathing, and that everyone could hear Dee Dee sleeping and breathing and snoring so loudly that it was picking up over the Zoom call. So see if you can invite in those deep bulldog breaths. Inhale and the exhale. Then as you're ready, taking your time, slowly, let's push back up to seated, coming up the strength of your arms. Again, taking your time. And then we'll make our way to lying on our backs. So taking your time to get there, swinging your legs around. Coming to lie on your mat or staying in your chair if that's more comfortable. You can absolutely do this from a seated position as well. But once you're there, landing your feet on the ground, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. Landing here. Maybe giving yourself a nice hug. Hug those knees in. Roll a little bit side to side. Maybe giving your feet a few circles. Circling your feet one direction and then the next. And then landing your feet on the ground, knees up to the ceiling. And inviting that right ankle up over your left thigh. And you might stay here. This is absolutely perfect position. Or you might invite your hands to thread through and around that left thigh, pulling your legs a little bit more towards your body. Both of your feet in a flex position. And holding here. And returning to your breath. And again, maybe challenging yourself here to really have an audible inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Then as you're ready, no rush, hugging both knees in. And then taking the pose to the other side. So landing that right foot, left ankle up and over that thigh, staying here, or inviting your hands around that right thigh, both feet flexed, returning to the breath. The inhale and the exhale. Then as you're ready, hugging both knees in, maybe a little side to side rock. And then coming to a bit of an inversion before we close the practice. So inviting your legs up to the sky. And again, you can bring a pillow or you can grab a block if you have one and place that under your hips. So picking up your hips first and landing the pillow or block under your hips and then inviting your feet up to the sky. If you're near a wall, you can invite your feet up the wall. And inversions can be challenging. Certainly not a position most of us are in throughout our day. But they are a great way to mix it up a bit because we don't often go upside down. It's also a great tool for bringing our parasympathetic nervous system into play. So helping us with that system that our body naturally has to invite in calm and connection and comfort and to bring in balance and homeostasis. So it's a helpful tool for stress reduction. As you're ready, coming back down. If you have a block or a pillow, landing your feet and then lifting your hips to remove that and put it aside. Hugging yourself in one more time, giving your legs a nice hug. And then coming to our final relaxation. So maybe that starts with taking a nice full body stretch. And then coming to a comfortable rest. So maybe your feet kind of fall to the side, arms to your sides, palms up. Maybe you want to take your final rest in a seated position, or you want to flip over and try a belly rest for today. Whatever feels good for today in this moment, just come to that final rest. And invite in that gratitude to yourself for being here today, for being present, for finding connection, for being together. And allow yourself a moment to integrate all of the tremendous work you have done today. Taking a moment of silence to allow for that integration. And as you're ready, starting to invite in a bit of movement, your hands, your feet. And coming to meet in a seated position, maybe rolling to your side first. Coming to an upright, seated position. Taking your time to get there. We'll close practice today with 2 breaths together, connecting us. And again, for the last time in our practice today, inviting in that gratitude and the acknowledgement of all the complexity and challenge that is present in gratitude, but knowing that in all of that complexity, we can still hold gratitude. So together, bringing hands to heart center if that feels comfortable. And together, inhaling gratitude, filling our whole body. And then exhaling that gratitude to each other. One more time together. Inhaling, filling ourselves with gratitude. And then exhaling that out to the world. Thank you all for being here and joining me today. It is always such an honor to practice with each of you. In gratitude, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.